Trump administration were more likely to secure exemptions for products otherwise subject to tariffs.
So here's what you need to understand. Republican-connected big business, right? They're the ones who get away scot-free. They get their exemptions for massive political donations, of course. But the other aspect to this is, who do you think gets hurt the most in this scenario with these tariffs? It's not a mystery. Medium-sized businesses and small businesses. You know how politicians of both parties love to suck off small business? Oh, small business is the engine of America, right? The small-time entrepreneurs who can afford maybe a middle-class lifestyle from being an entrepreneur, from owning a business and spending all their time trying to improve that business. Those are the people who get fucked with these tariffs. If Apple gets exemptions and other big Republican-connected corporations get exemptions, it's the medium-sized businesses and the small-sized businesses that get wiped the fuck out. Which means what? As we've told you all along, this is a robber baron coup. That's what it is. Robber baron coup. Which means the top 1%, the Donald Trumps, the Elon Musks, the Mark Andreessens, the Mark Zuckerbergs, the Jeff Bezoses, the Tim Cooks, it's these people who will run everything. You will be a corpo slave peasant in that system. Do you understand that? Trump always says the 1890s were the best time. 1890s were the best. That was literally the fucking Gilded Age, where we had literal robber barons who owned everything. So they can be orchestrating an economic collapse for these guys to step in and swoop up everything from the medium and small businesses, buy them out, and they run it all. And they run it all. And at the same time, don't think, oh, it's okay. I'll be a worker. I'll just organize with my union so that we get a fair share of the pie. Wrong. They're destroying the NLRB. They're making sure you can't join a union. They're bringing back fucking child labor in Florida right now. They said, hey, we kicked out too many immigrants. Make the 14-year-olds work overnight shifts. This is what they're doing. So they want everybody to be a corpo cuck slave peasant. That's what they want, and they want to own everything. And this is what they're bringing about.
Conversely, companies that made contributions to Democratic politicians had decreased odds of tariff exemption approval. That study looked at more than 7,000 applications for exemptions from tariffs on China.
This is literally like, just come kiss the ring of the Mad King, and then maybe you'll get some favors. This is what it is. He's running the country like a mafia boss. And understand something. Somebody tweeted this the other day. I got to go back and check the article, but was it in Australia? It may have been in Australia. He was rejected in the 1980s from building a Trump casino in some country. It was either New Zealand or Australia, I think, because an investigation of him found he had deep mob connections. His lawyer was Roy Cohn, who was the famous mafia lawyer from when he was young. So what that means is, yeah, he's running it like the mob because he's a fucking mobster. He's a gangster. He's a criminal.
And found that just a $4,000 donation to the Democratic Party reduced the company's chances of being granted an exemption to less than 1 in 10. As Timothy Carney from the conservative think tank AEI notes, Trump's first election created a trade lobbying boom from 921 entities who hired lobbyists to work on trade to a peak of 1,419 by 2019. With the highest tariffs in the industrialized world, the American bazaar is now open. Countries and companies will descend on Washington to cut deals and gain carve-outs, exemptions, and special terms. In the last 4 weeks, Vietnam has announced a flurry of measures designed to mollify the Trump administration and get a good trade deal. Among them, approval for Elon Musk's Starlink to operate.
We've never seen corruption on. Fuck everybody who talked more about Hunter Biden and Nancy Pelosi than Trump. And as you all know, the law of nature is that all the motherfuckers who are harping away on Hunter Biden's corruption and Nancy Pelosi's corruption, they say fucking dick, donut, zip, zilch, nada about Trump's corruption, even though he is the most corrupt president in modern American history, the most corrupt man in modern American history. How else would you refer to the guy who did a crypto scam on his own supporters 2 days before his inauguration? How would you talk about that guy? How would you talk about the guy who, after he is in office for his second term, is already holding fundraisers $1 million ahead at Mar-a-Lago? If you fork over $3 or $5 million, maybe you get a one-on-one meeting with the Mad King. How would you describe that? God damn it. All the fucking assholes who talked about Hunter Biden and Nancy Pelosi and pretended like they were principled opponents of corruption. And now they have fucking dick to say about the most corrupt regime in history in this country.
And a plan to expedite a Trump Organization project. In fact, there are at least 19 Trump-branded real estate projects around the world that will be under development while he is president, and possibly many others in the works. President Trump has launched his own social media company and his own meme coin. Other countries surely see this all as an invitation to invest and to influence American foreign and economic policy.
He also, remember when he was selling those $100,000 watches, which didn't exist? They didn't exist. They had pictures on the site, and it said, like, this is actually not the product. The product doesn't exist yet. But send him $100,000, and then eventually you'll get your watch. I'm sure that's not an invitation for foreign fucking oligarchs and billionaires and corrupt foreign leaders to just funnel in money and then get favors, right? Right?
It has been deeply dispiriting to watch some of America's legendary capitalists, canonical figures from Wall Street, endorse a deal-making process by which the American free market is going to be pockmarked with tariffs, taxes, rules, exemptions, and carve-outs.
But, okay, this is where he's so naive, though. This is capitalism. Under capitalism, the companies only care about profit, period. That's it. That's it. That's why under capitalism, you have rampant child labor if they feel like they can get away with it. There's no environmental regulations if they feel like they can get away with it. All that fucking matters is the bottom line. All that matters is profit. It's a psychopathic system. And so what happens when a situation like this arises? Obviously, all the capitalists run to kiss the ring of the Mad King to try to get their favors. And by the way, they all want to be the only game in town. They want to buy out all the competition. Capitalism eventually leads to monopolies. And then the monopolies will have full market share and they'll jack up the fucking prices and screw everybody over to, again, increase the bottom line. The idea that this is a deviation from true capitalism. No, this is what it fucking becomes in practice. It's so naive. It's so neoliberal brained, right? That like, oh, this is a deviation from the true and just and correct capitalism. No, this is the inevitable outcome of capitalism. Oh my God.
It's worth recalling that Milton Friedman repeatedly noted
massive fucking asshole
about businessmen. You can get any leading businessman to give you an eloquent speech on the virtues of a free market. But when it comes to their own business, they want to go down to Washington and get a special tariff to protect their business.
Yeah, exactly.
Special tax deduction. They want a tax subsidy.
Yeah, look at Elon Musk. Oh, free market. I love Javier Milei. I love anarcho-capitalism. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Wait, give me 38 billion US tax dollars. Give me 8 million tax dollars a day. This is what Elon Musk does. None of them are principled in favor of small government. None of them are principled at all. But this is the inevitable outcome of capitalism. This is what happens. If a capitalist gets offered $10 billion in a government subsidy, they're going to fucking take it. They're going to take it because, again, all that matters is the bottom line.
I grew up in was a country riddled with tariffs, high barriers designed to protect the country's domestic industry and shield it from what was regarded as unfair foreign competition. It produced stagnation, poverty, and lots of corruption, thoroughly politicizing the economy. No business of any size in India could survive without a good relationship with the government. When I got to America, I was delighted to see that most businessmen went about their work with little care as to who was in the White House. But now I watch...
That's not true. That is not true. These businesses, regardless of what they say or if they say nothing, they prefer Republicans. Why? More tax cuts for them, more deregulation for them, more subsidies for them. The entire Republican Party, right now, again, this is a robber baron billionaire coup that we're witnessing. It is a multinational corporate coup. That's going on at the same time you have a fascist takeover and purge. Capital, it turns out, would you look at this? This is proof now, always breaks towards fascism. If they have a choice between a socialist or a fascist, guess which way they're going to go? Because the socialist steps in and says, hey, bitch, I see this income inequality. I see this wealth inequality. I see a bunch of people struggling. I see that you got 3 yachts and 4 fucking mansions. I think it's time to tax your ass and redistribute that money and make sure people have health care, they have an education, they make a decent living. Where do you think fucking no matter how liberal they posture as being, where do you think any captain of industry is going to break in that scenario? Where do you think they're going to go? They're going to go to the fascist who's like, hey, I'll give you more tax cuts, I'll give you more deregulation, I'll give you more subsidies, I'll let you loot the fucking treasury, but let me illegally ship people to a slave labor death camp in El Salvador with no due process. They go, okay.
Pioneers give interviews slavishly extolling Donald Trump's genius. And Wall Street titans race to post North Korea-style congratulations to the president for his brilliance in rescuing the economy from his own actions. And I wonder, what country am I living in?
You're living in the United States of America. That's where you're fucking living. and all this bullshit. Everybody's been so ingrained in this country with the idea of American exceptionalism. We're better than everybody else in the world, but